Kamaru Usman goes off on Ariel Helwani after recent comments. Kamaru Usman and Ariel Helwani have just suddenly found themselves in a real beef, and it's heating up fast. Everything started when Ariel ripped into the idea of Usman getting the next title shot at Islam Makhachev. He called it a complete travesty and basically said the only reason it's even being discussed is Kamaru's manager Ali Abdulaziz working his magic behind the scenes, not because of what the Nigerian nightmare has done lately in the cage. Now, to be fair, Usman is coming off that big win over Wakin Buckley, who was on a tear and looked damn near unstoppable heading in. That win, combined with his elite resume, has a decent chunk of fans saying Kamaru should be right back in the title picture. Most people though still think 170 is too loaded right now, and he probably needs one more before he jumps the line. Either way, Usman and Henry took it personal on their podcast. Kamaru said Ariel simply isn't qualified to decide who deserves a title shot. Let's dive into how Kamaru reacted to Helwani's criticism.
That will not be named in the show, but I guarantee you they could probably smell us from here.
Damn.
Well, let's just talk about this.
You got a big nose, come on.
They could smell us from here. But Henry, listen, why would we, as professional fighters, why would we go on these shows anymore with people who don't have G14 classification? Why would I be sitting there talking to you? Because you're just a glorified fan. The real journalists that have a conversation with us, Henry, before fights, and then they write about it, that's different. Not these people who are media personalities basically give their opinion. You talk about me to stay relevant. I don't talk about you. I don't care about you.
You've been in the headlines, and it's a matter of respect too, Kamaru. I would take it as like, all right, man, I'm the big dog. I'm the sheriff in town.
But that's why they're talking about me, Henry, because of that. Because I am the big dog. I am the name. That's why they are talking about.
Ariel Helwani fires back at Kamaru Usman, and Henry Cejudo Helwani then fired back at Kamaru. And this was years of tension boiling over. You got to remember their history. Back when Usman was champ, his manager, Ali Abdulaziz, banned ESPN from interviewing any of his fighters, calling it personal and accusing Helwani of targeting his champions. Man stayed silent, but clearly rolled with it, and that beef never really went away. There were smaller moments, too, like when Helwani interviewed Duplessis in 2023 and started pushing those provocative African race questions tied with Camaro. Usman's campsite Helwani for that one, too. And the tension kept building, and now Helwani has finally snapped. He went right at him, calling out the hypocrisy, the revisionism, and the way Usman benefited from Abdulaziz's pull with the UFC while accusing the media of bias. Helwani's point was simple. Fighters want the media when things go their way, but the moment rankings or opinions don't fit their plans, suddenly the media is unqualified.
They were never qualified, that's why they're no longer invited to the events. And so this is the same old playbook. They've been in the fight game long enough. They would know that you don't get invited to these events as a media member. You apply for a credential and then they say yes or no. But that's a semantic. Obviously we understand they're trying to hit me below the belt, even though I've tried to explain and prove time and again that I haven't applied for a credential since March 2020. He's doing a video, he's clipping it off. Clearly, I have struck a nerve. And what is the nerve that I struck? He's 1-3 since 2021. He won one fight in June, and I had the audacity to say that this guy doesn't deserve a title shot. I didn't say that he's a bum. I didn't say that he's a never was.
Ilia Topuria's sparring session with Alex Pereira leaked humbles Alex Pereira in the gym. Earlier this week, Russian MMA reporter Usha held an interview with the Dagestani MMA coach Ghassan Ghassan, who works at one of the biggest gyms in Dagestan. Coach revealed that he has shared gym sessions with the UFC lightweight champ Ilia Topuria. The coach revealed that when Ilia visited their gym, he surprised everyone by sparring not only with fellow lightweights, but also with the bigger guys. Quote, "He has very thick, dense bones. His legs, back, and hips are extremely strong. That's why he hits so hard. He generates power for his punch from his strong legs. He lifts massive weights. I've talked about this before. I've seen him do it. He lifts insanely heavy weights. And because of that, he hits hard. I've always said this. If he ever lands one of those punches on someone's head, they'll definitely go to sleep or at least wobble. I've seen him play around with Pereira and I could see that Alex was feeling those punches 100%. He can wobble anybody in the world. I can say this with complete confidence. Anyone who thinks his size means he can't hit hard is completely wrong. Another unexpected Michael Bisping slams Tom Aspinall for constant eye poke updates twist today comes from Michael Bisping, and this one caught a lot of fans off guard. For weeks he has been one of Tom Aspinall's loudest defenders in the whole eye poke controversy. Partly because they are both Englishmen and partly because Bisping knows exactly what it's like to deal with eye injuries. But suddenly, Bisping switched gears and fired some surprisingly harsh criticism at Tom. He believes Aspinall is handling this situation the wrong way. Tom has been flooding social media with videos from doctor visits, scans, medical updates, everything. He is basically documenting every step to prove to the fans that the eye poke was real, that the injury was legit, and that he did not quit. Bisping thinks this is backfiring. In his eyes, Tom is doing too much and giving the controversy even more oxygen. The more he posts, the more people think he is trying to convince them instead of moving forward like a champion. And coming from Bisping, a guy who fought half his career with one functioning eye, that criticism hits a lot harder. Bisping and Felder are advising Tom to move on from this incident because this is not the type of stuff people want to hear from a heavyweight champion of the world.
And you know what? This kind of almost, I don't want to say feeling sorry for yourself, but allowing it to get to you and showing the doctors and stuff. It's not what people want to see from the heavyweight champ. No one wants to hear that shit.
No.
People want to hear people be real, and say, yeah, this is pissing me off. And you know what? I'm coming back. I'm on my doctor's case every day. When can I fight? When can I fight?
Yeah, just like he said, he's saying it, but then he's doing that kind of stuff. He needs to, I know it's tough to move on when you got people doubting you and questioning you and calling you a quitter when you're a guy that's a heavyweight champion like Tom Aspinall. It's a fucking bitch to deal with. But you're right. He needs to just move on and get better and then show up in training and do your damn thing. And again, be the heel then. Turn heel. Be a dickhead to everyone. Nobody will care if you go and knock Cyril Gane out and then you get on that microphone and you start talking shit. Guess what? People will just absolutely love that version of you.
Sean O'Malley talks Sonya Dant matchup, Ilia Topuria divorce. More. Sean O'Malley just reacted to the Ilia Topuria divorce drama and the fact that Tapra's personal issues have taken him out of action until spring of 2026. Ali is taking on San Yang at UFC 324. Suga reacted to the UFC putting him third on the card. Sean laughed about it on his podcast, saying he's not even the co-main. He joked that he is falling off hard and said that next time he'll be on prelims. This is one of the most important fights of Ali's career. He is entering UFC 324 on a 2-fight losing streak for the first time ever in his run. If he drops another one, he is almost guaranteed to move up to featherweight, something he has talked about for years anyway. And stylistically, Song Yadong is the perfect test. He is powerful, compact, aggressive, but he is also very hittable. On paper, this is a fight Sean should win if he is still operating at an elite level. His range, timing, counters, and footwork all line up well against Yodong's burst. But even if he gets the job done at UFC 324, it is nearly impossible to picture Sean being granted a third shot at Morab. The division has moved on, contenders are lining up, and Sean's future at bantamweight remains one big question mark for Ali. This is more than just another fight on a stacked card. This is about proving he still belongs with the elites and deciding which weight class defines the next chapter of his career.
The Ilia stuff, you guys see that? Going through the divorce, wife supposedly trying to take 50%. God, dude. I feel so, that sucks. And it's all public, which makes it even just fucking worse.
I've seen a lot of shit.
I've been through some shit. I didn't have to it wasn't on the public, got to the other side, everything's good, but when you're going through that type of shit, you definitely don't want to be in fight camp.
Is that why he pulled out, or just...
That's why I didn't book a fight. He said he's going through his personal... It's all public, and I guess he was supposedly messaging girls, which is like, you can't say how's going.
I know, right?
Dude, no. You can't be nice to the other species when you're married. I just don't understand. Yeah, no, that sucks. So I do genuinely feel bad for him, and yeah, I mean, all that shit. Oh, you got 2 kids. It's like when you add kids to the mix, that's what makes it. That's really what makes it just so hard to deal with. It's unfortunate for him, but yeah, because I really want to see Ilia versus Patty. That was the fight I wanted to see. Ilia versus Islam is the fight I want to see.